Dear friends, the next 3 days are going to be a veritable fiesta. There is something for everyone. And the key word here, of course, is everyone. We are a consciously inclusive festival. Every year we are able to add sessions and make them comfortable in this particular space. We in fact had Anju Thimani took all the volunteers to a side and taught us how to help the deaf group who are amongst us here. Thank you so much, Anju, and we hope that you continue to learn and continue to expand and also participate in letting the unheard voices be amplified through the various cultural events, the exhibitions, photography, literary sessions, open mic, and much more. We are increasingly and boldly meeting the call of conservation of our environment. We discourage actively any use of plastic. Several of our events focus on environment. The movement, in fact, to save the Chevela banyan trees is represented here in the festival. Do not miss the exhibition under the banyan tree, which is curated particularly to showcase the issues at stake. The banyan tree, at this venue, the food court, and all other spaces will have no plastic. And the festival will not have any sale of PET water bottles. So we are asking you to bring your own bottles. You know the which kind, right? We are at a school. Please do bring your own bottles. There are plenty of water dispensers, and we have also tied up with the Hyderabad Metro Rail and SIDA to encourage leave your vehicles at home. You're aware that each year HLF looks to connect to different languages and different cultures. Konkani, Kokadi, as I was taught by Sita a few weeks ago, Kokadi is the language in focus this year. We are privileged to have the Sahitya Academy winner, Damodar Mauzo, with us, with his wife, Shailajaji as well. We present films, Konkani cuisine at the food court. Folk dancers who at this moment are on their way here. 20 dancers from Goa, ladies who will be at the festival to regale us. Konkani authors including Jerry Pinto, and a very close to heart and a very close to home, Shanta Rameshwar Rao's book, her life's oeuvre, is on display at the reading room at her very own school classroom as she would like it, and we invite readers to enter her world through the word and images. Original paintings of Badri Narayan and Bulbul Sharma that illustrate her iconic book are on view at See My Book, Read My Book. We're indeed fortunate to showcase Germany as our destination this year. The concept of destination, in fact, began with the German year, which was presented in the country in 2011 and 2012, now about a decade ago, and we are privileged to have the support and patronage of the German Embassy in Delhi, the Consulate in Chennai, and the Office of Honorary Consul and Native Centrum of Hyderabad. Dr. Stephan Grabherr, Deputy Head of the Mission, is bringing us the writings of the marvel that Helena Bukowski is to Hyderabad Literary Festival 2023. We have Christopher Krögler, we have artist Katharina Holstein-Strom, and several other activities, art, film, women's activism, as well as initiatives of graphic novels with a woman agriculturist. All this becomes a part of the German contribution to this edition. Thank you, Your Excellency Dr. Grabherr, bringing good tidings from Germany via Delhi. Friends, I can unendingly talk about 150 events, but we must begin the festival now. I would like to point out to a very interesting initiative, the Story Box at HLF. This is a project by Aparna Viswanathan and her team that places several boxes to dispense literature from the box. A sort of ATM to access instantly short stories, poems, interesting facts, and specially curated for the festival set. Please try them and promote these and encourage schools to explore this wonderful mode to add to their school libraries to encourage reading and learning. This year, we dedicate the in-person Hyderabad Literary Festival 2023 to our friend and fellow director Jayesh Ranjan, who has been sorely missed every step of the way as we prepare this present edition by way of an Jayesh Ranjan Memorial valedictory session that has been curated by his friends and fellows of the monthly series. I have taken far too much time, friends. I invite now for you to enjoy the festival and coming together of literature and life and creative energy over the next 2 days. I invite now the convener of Hyderabad Literary Festival, Sri Jayesh Ranjan, Principal Secretary to the Government of Telangana, to preside over the inaugural session and address the gathering. Thank you.
Distinguished invitees, guests, authors, patrons of literature, it's my great pleasure to invite you to the 13th edition of the Hyderabad Literary Festival on behalf of the organizing committee. As we all know, few years of disruption have happened because of lockdown restrictions, but we are delighted to bring back the way it used to happen all these years, face to face, in physical form, in these kind of intimate surroundings, with so much of variety, so much of diversity. As Amita pointed out, there are many things to look up to for this 13th edition also. We would like to convey our regards to the German embassy for supporting us in making Germany as the partner country. Also to respected Sri Damodar ji and all his colleagues for making Konkani the official, the focus language, that is. And all the sponsors, as you can notice, there's a big board there which acknowledges the support of all the sponsors. As we know, last 2 years, most of the sponsorship, most of the corporate funding went for COVID relief activity, which is quite understandable. But we were not very sure if companies have interest anymore in these kinds of public-facing activities like literature festivals, etc. But we were very pleasantly surprised and very appreciative too of the fact that so many of them have come forward and they have helped us in making this festival the way we would have always liked it to be. Many people know of Jaipur Literary Festival. Many of them would have been there. Many of us feel envious of the kind of stature Jaipur Literature Festival has acquired in our country. When I became the IT secretary 8 years ago in the state, we used to hear similar things about Bangalore. That Bangalore is the Silicon Valley and Hyderabad, etc. They are all kind of wannabes, or they are all also rans. But in the last 8 years, we have completely changed the narrative. Now Hyderabad is spoken in many contexts as even superior to Bangalore. And I am very, very confident that that day is not very far when we'll be able to occupy the same stature, same recognition, same reputation as the JLF. And in my opinion, I've not been to JLF, but I know of others who have been there and have read about it, heard of it. But I'm very sure that the variety of activities which happen here, Amita just now mentioned, there are 15 activities now, is it? No. The category, 13. So 13 streams, 13 categories of activities which happen here, including poetry, including film screening, including workshops, including performances, targeted programs for young participants and so on and so forth. I'm sure that in JLF you do not have so much of variety. They must be having quite a few, but not as many as we have in Hyderabad. And the quality of participation, the quality of activities, that is improving year by year. I've been associated with this event for more than 10 years, and I see it happening all the time, that the caliber of authors like respected Shri Damodar ji here and so many others who will be regaling us over the next 3 days. That's, as I said, getting better and better and better. Another very appreciable thing is, and this is something which I want to share with all of you. Ever since I have become the chair of the organizing committee, it has been my endeavor that HLF should not be seen just as a standalone, one-off kind of thing, an event which happens every year in January, and thereafter nothing happens. People completely remain disassociated for the remaining 11 months. So we have tried in the past few years to make HLF relevant to its stakeholders at all times by conducting all kinds of events. Magazines, newsletters have been published, school programs, online sessions, and various other things have happened, and they will continue to happen. But something very important is what I want to share now, which is that as all of us know, the digital world is becoming more and more important. When we conducted the literary festival itself on the previous 2 occasions using the online format, while of course you miss the kind of bonding and camaraderie which happens in a face-to-face interaction, but the digital world was also not completely off the mark. We had useful interactions, we had very high quality participation, and one advantage was that everything was stored in archives, so you can refer back. Even if online, let us say 100 people are watching something, but at some point in time, thousands of people will view it at their leisure. So there are advantages of digital, and as we have seen during the pandemic as well, it is important to have a digital format, a digital twin for literally everything. So in the government, we have decided to promote the digital library movement in a big way in all the district headquarters, mandal headquarters over a period of time. We are partnering with a very strong civil society organization called Digital Empowerment Foundation, and they and us will be running this program, ensuring that the government libraries in different district headquarters, etc., are also converted into digital. And hopefully, we would like HLF to be a very active promoter and participant to enrich the content which will be available to folks, not just in Hyderabad, but elsewhere as well, to engage in their favorite books, authors, events, and so on and so forth. So this is one thing which I wanted to kind of let you know, so that you are aware that HLF will be doing more things just other than organizing the signature festival, which happens, of course, every year in January. So once again, look forward to a very memorable 3 days here in the city. Already stellar authors have started arriving, and as we have always mentioned, the format of this festival is very, very intimate. You can really walk up to acclaimed authors, talk to them, seek their opinion, of course get pictures taken, get books signed. But all these will continue to happen over the next 3 days. And thank you very much for attending. Look forward to seeing you regularly over the next 2 days, and also in various other activities that we'll be conducting regularly. So warm welcome to all of you once again. Thank you very much. So it's my privilege now to invite His Excellency Mr. Stephan Grabherr to share a few thoughts and also tell us a little bit about the German participation in this year's festival.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Stephan Grabherr. I'm from the German Embassy. In Germany, I come from the south of Germany, from Bavaria, so that shows a little bit our diversity, because our authors, they come also from different regions in Germany, and this also contributes to the whole diversity we have here. But first of all, Principal Secretary, distinguished guests, authors, poets, participants, friends, it's great to be here. It's great to be here in such a place like Hyderabad, and to see such a vibrant signature festival coming out of the storms of the last years again, and to be more vibrant and more diverse than it was before. So therefore, I may say, Amrita, thank you very much for setting this up with all your friends and with all your team and the volunteers that are behind this. But we can say you and your festival, you are solid as a rock. So you even overcome such difficult times. So congratulations for that. And therefore, it was a great pleasure for us to come here, for the German authors that are joining this festival, which you will meet, also translators coming from Germany. So you have a really eye and eye meeting with what is the current contemporary German literature. It's for me the first time here in Hyderabad, but it will be a unique experience. Therefore, I would like to share with you two small thoughts. First of all, when I read a book, be it an electronic book or be it a real book, as some people say, so I turn the pages and I say, well, I'm walking through a space of experience. I'm walking through a space of imagination. It's like walking, and it's like opening my eyes. It's not only reading the text from word to word, but it's walking through a new space of experience, of new imagination. And I meet new people. Some people in this walk, they are very familiar with me. Other people, it's hard for me to understand what kind of biography they have. But I'm confronted with them. So I'm connecting with these peoples in the books, these peoples in the poetry. So reading books, having literature, helps us to connect people, helps us to come together, and helps us to better understand what other people think. What's the vantage point of other people? What's the vantage point of different languages? We were talking about the main language we are talking about. In Germany, we have not so many different dialects. So I think in international field, it's good to have these different vantage points, these different experiences. And that's what we do while walking through a book. That comes out also when you're walking, you're reading a book. So you have this literally meaning of reading a text, but there is also another meaning in it. To read somebody, to read a situation, to read a football game, to understand it. So reading is also part of understanding. And therefore, I think in these two parts of the meaning of this word, you find out what literature and books are all about. To read, to understand, to be open. Second remark. Nevertheless, literature and books, they do not prevent, they don't make us immune towards difficult situations. We might fall back in dark moments in our history, in our society. There are books of war. There are pamphlets of propaganda. There are books that promote hate speech. This exists. And there are situations, even in our history, we have a long, rich cultural history. But in the last century, we really experienced and we saw what it means when such a rich cultural country like Germany fell back in the darkest moments of its history. And it's just at this day today, the 27th of January, I'd like to remind you of this, that we are reminding us of the International Day of Holocaust, International Remembrance Day of Holocaust. That's a very important day for us. Therefore, I mention it here. Also, when we see in the contemporary, in the current developments, we also see there are countries with a rich culture and literature, and this doesn't prevent from coming back, from falling back to imperialistic war of aggression. So we see a situation like that. So these are the two thoughts I wanted to share with you. But what can we do about it? We walk through the books, we know what the threat is, we know that we don't get immune against any threats. But that's a festival, solid as a rock, as I said, standing here, coming together and making this idea of coming together, of understanding the vantage point, of understanding the feeling of other persons, to have more respect towards other persons, to feel it here in the different presentations you will have here, and also to see how it sounds in different languages. That's also part of it. Therefore, I think your festival plays an important role as far as the promotion, the understanding for literature is concerned, but also it plays an important role in the sense of political awareness, in sense of cultural promotion. Therefore, thank you very much for organizing this. And I'm so proud to have so many people of you, so many authors here, and I will join you in the different meetings here. Thank you very much for coming here, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Excellency Dr. Grabherr, for such profound thoughts. It's now my privilege to welcome and introduce our chief guest for the opening ceremony, respected Shri Damodar Mauzo. As I mentioned already, Konkani is the language in focus this year, and we are extremely fortunate that one of the most accomplished and celebrated Konkani authors, Shri Damodar Mauzo ji, is with us. He has a huge body of work behind him, mostly short stories, fiction. He has also written scripts, I was told. Are we screening any of his movies here? Okay, so there's a story reading by the Little Theatre. He has also received multiple awards, but the award which is at the pinnacle is the Gyanpeeth Award, which he received in 2021. As many of us would know, this is the highest literary honor given in our country, and we are extremely fortunate. I recall in some of our past editions also, we had the honor of having Gyanpeeth awardees as our chief guest. I remember Sitakant Mahapatra ji and others. But again, matter of great fortune for all of us to have such an eminent person amidst our gathering, and to listen to him share his thoughts on literature and reading and writing. Over to you, Shri Damodar ji.
पहिली सुवातेर तुमकां सगळ्यांक म्हजो माये मोगाचो नमस्कार. After greeting you in my own language, I'll proceed with sharing some of my joys. At the outset, the honorable members of the dais, Amita ji, Jayesh Ranjan ji, Honorable Stephan, who spoke like a man of letters. Of course, he must be, otherwise it wouldn't come out like that. But then I'm very happy to hear him and his concerns about literature. And my very close friend Vijay, and my friends sitting in the audience, and all the literature lovers here. I'm very happy to be part of this festival. This is not the first time that I'm coming for this literature festival in Hyderabad. I think some 7 to 8 years back I was here attending a festival of this kind. But I'm very happy to see that this literature has grown in stature. In different ways. I can see the number of events that are going, the kind of events that are going to be presented here and performed here. I'm very happy, and I know what literature organizing a festival is like. I myself curate the Goa Art and Literature Festival, and probably some of you know it. I know how much labor is involved in that, how laborious, how diligent, how stressful it is. But at the end of it, it is such a satisfying exercise. And precisely because of that, I'm sure so much effort is gone into it by all the organizers besides their team who is active on the field. I'm sure it is going to end on a very successful note. My best wishes to you, to all of you, And I thank, at the outset I thank Vijayji, who called me some months back to inform me that Hyderabad Literature Festival will have Konkani as a language in focus. I'm so happy. You see, I think I find Hyderabad Literature Festival is different on different counts, not only on this count. I don't think any literature festival in India or outside, I don't know, but then any festival has a language in focus. This is the first time that at least Konkani gets such importance. Well, I'm very happy that the HLF has chosen Konkani as a language in focus. Probably many of you are not aware of the status of Konkani. Many people do not know that it is a language of literature. Many people don't know that books are being produced on a large scale in this language. The reason is, unless the books are translated, they go in translation, people don't understand. So such festivals like Hyderabad Literature Festival help the writers and the books to move on and reach out to a wider readership. And just now, our Jayesh Ranjan ji mentioned about Jaipur Literature Festival. I have been there. It has its own kind, of a different kind. In fact, JLF is considered as mother of literature festivals. Just because it started well about 16 years back or maybe more. And it was the first to start on such a large scale. Earlier we would have literature festivals in the name of Sahitya Sammelans and all. But this is a different concept where people from different languages and different regions come together to discuss common thing, that is literature. So, but comparisons are odious. Every literature festival has its own identity. And HLF, I must admit, I see HLF as one of the topmost literature festivals of this country. I was very much touched that HLF gives so much importance to water and to trees. We all live because of these two elements. Water, which we have to take care of, and secondly, our trees. It is unfortunate that we are paying a heavy price for our development. But mind you, it is unfortunate that we do not understand or we do not realize the importance of our trees, and particularly the burgess trees, the banyan trees, which are almost being wiped out. And by whom? By us, in the name of our own development. But we will be nowhere if we do not conserve, we do not preserve our trees and our water, because we call water a jivan. And if life that is given, if we are going to forego like this, it is very, very unfortunate for us. So I must congratulate HLF for taking this issue up. Now, at literature festivals, what is literature festival is meant for? It is meant to celebrate our diversity. And diversity, again, in unity, because sometimes we do not meet one another unless we come together under one roof. So here I find writers from Konkani, from Marathi, from Telugu, and from other countries and other languages coming together to discuss. Many more writers whom I know also tomorrow. I think Gary Pinto is coming, and I don't know whether Badroy is here. But in French, you will find, and maybe today also, you will find different aspects that Konkani has come to display. Konkani is one language which has suffered immensely at the hands of our geography because of our colonial rule. Let us forget the past. We look forward. But then tomorrow, during this next 2-3 days, you will be exposed to so many activities, particularly our rich folklore, our rich folk performances will be held here. Our literatures will be displayed. I am happy that some book readings are also happening, albeit in translation. But that is the only way to reach out to the people. So there will be a screening of a wonderful film, Natuya Kumpasar. You must see. It is a film which you will love it because everyone who loves music, you will love the film. It is more about the music than about a person or the story. So it will be screened, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, so don't miss it. Natuya Kumpasar, directed by our own Badroy Barreto, will be here. He will be here. So I'm very happy that Literature Festival, Hyderabad Literature Festival has given such prominence to my language, and we get an opportunity to showcase our literature, our art, and of different forms. Thank you very much for all this. And again, in the end, post-COVID, I think we are meeting for the first time on this scale. I must congratulate not allowing this festival to take a halt because of COVID. We did. At Goa Literature Festival, we did not hold festival for 2.5 years. So we again held this time on a low key. But I am very happy that you have come out like anything. And I see the enthusiasm, I can see the anxiety and the effort that are being put in by the artists and the other volunteers here. I congratulate in advance, in anticipation to Vijay and team, entire team, and I'm sure I'm looking forward a successful edition of Hyderabad Literature Festival. And in the end, I again say goodbye in Konkani. इनका समझता देव बरें करो.
Thank you very much, sir. Many of you will be wondering why did respected Shri Damodar ji did not speak much about literature, writing, etc. He did not do so because the very next session involves that. He'll be speaking to Rita Sardesai about the world of literature and books and writing. So I would now request Professor Vijay Kumar to bring the opening ceremony to a close.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for being here. It's a very long list of people that I have to thank. But I'll just begin with probably not according to the protocol, but let me just pick up on a couple of points that Sri Damodar Mauzo, sorry, I'm kind of slipping into the familiar address. We always call him Bhai, not the Bollywood Bhai, but our own beloved Bhai. Damodar Mauzo mentioned that he is not new to Hyderabad Literary Festival. Of course, he is not. He was with us in 2014 when the festival was held across 5 venues on road number 7 in Banjara Hills. It was spread over 4 different venues, and Bhai was very much a part of the festival then. Bhai is not also unfamiliar with Vidyaranya School. A few years ago, I don't remember the exact date, he came to this school to launch the volume 37 of People's Linguistic Survey of India, which was a volume on English and other international languages in India. So Damodar Mauzo is very much part of us. We work together under Professor Devi, G.N. Devi in the People's Linguistic Survey of India, and we have been, great followers of the issues of language and literature and so on. So, first and foremost, my gratitude to Sri Damodar Mauzo. When I called him a few months ago, without any hesitation, I know how busy he is these days. He's just, hopping from one festival to another. He has just come from Kolkata Literary Festival, but he said, I'm blocking these dates. I will be at Hyderabad Literary Festival. And it's not just he. Constantly he has been advising us about which authors we should bring, which filmmakers, and he has given me a complete list of people whom I should consider. And I told him very clearly that although we call ourselves a literature festival, we define literature very, very broadly. And the three core areas that we focus on are literature, culture, and art. And whenever we invite a language as the Indian language in focus, we try to project the three different aspects of that culture, art, and literature. And that is why in the next 2 days, you will see that it's not the written word that is celebrated, but also the visual, that is film. Badroy will be here tomorrow, and Badroy Barretto's film will be screened here. We have the folk dancers, we have the music, and several writers and artists who will be participating in this festival. Just one mention, and that of course connects to our guest of honor this afternoon, Dr. Grabherr. We started this, as Amita mentioned in her opening remarks, we started this feature. The festival, of course, itself started in 2010, and one of the founder members, Mr. Surya Rao, is very much with us this afternoon. Thank you, Surya, for joining. And we started this festival in 2010, and in 2012, we introduced a new feature called, inviting a country as a guest nation to showcase their literature, art, and culture. And Germany was the first country which was featured as the guest nation in 2012, and that's why it's a complete cycle of 10 years, and we are back with Germany. Also because of the 2-year interregnum that we had between 2020, where the last in-person festival was held in this very location, and after that 2021 and 22, we held it as a completely online festival. So in a way, it's a kind of a second coming of the festival, and we are very happy that Dr. Grabherr and the German consulate, and of course the redoubtable Amita Desai of the German Center here have been part of this festival. And just as we look at the outside world and invite a country as a guest nation, we also realize that we need to look into ourselves, into our own languages, into our own cultures, and therefore in 2013, we started this feature called Indian Language in Focus. So we have, although it might make us twin-eyed, one eye looks outside and another eye looks inside. So we started this feature in 2013 of featuring one language as the Indian language in focus, and we started with Telugu, and after several languages we have come to Konkani. And the question that was asked obviously is, why Konkani? It's not just a matter of kind of one language after another, but something that both Bhai and we were very aware of is that according to the 2011 census, which the results of which were released only in 2018, only 2 languages in India have shown a decline in the number of speakers. And one of the 2 languages is Konkani. Remember, out of the several languages that were census report covers, only 2 languages have shown decline. And one is Konkani, and of course the other is Urdu. And we had already covered Urdu as our language in focus, and therefore it was obvious that we need to look at Konkani and see what is happening to Indian languages not just in terms of literature, but their art, etc., etc. So Konkani, we are very happy that we have Konkani as the language in focus, and obviously the most well-known, the best-known writer of Konkani, Damodar Mauzo, is with us. A Gyanpith awardee, Sahitya Academy awardee, and I don't think anybody who knows anything about Konkani, and remember, he's not just a writer. He has been very vocal about the right of the writers to write what they want to write, and right of the readers to read what they want. So the session that we are going to begin the festival with is obviously the keynote address which Damodar Mauzo will, and the title, if you see the title, it tells us about the kind of writing that Damodar Mauzo does. The title of the next session, the keynote session, will be The Ink of Dissent. Right. So it's obvious what we are expecting. Let me do the formal thing now to thank several people. First and foremost, as I said, the chief guest of the opening ceremony, Sri Damodar Mauzo, the guest of honor, Dr. Stephan Grabherr, and the chair of the session, Sri Jayesh Ranjan, who leads the festival committee. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our core team, which consists of some of the best-known names in the city. We have a team of very distinguished people with whom the festival is very fortunate to have. The festival committee is led by the patron, Sri K.T. Ramarao, and the chair of the festival committee is Sri Jayesh Ranjan. And then we have several members of the committee who all have been extremely forthcoming with their suggestions, with their guidance, and with their help in reaching out to people and so on. I would like to take each one by their name and thank them in absolutely alphabetical order. Bashir Babu Khan is here. He is the one who provides us the entire wheel. So then we have the Ramanohar Reddy, well-known economist, and Ramanohar Reddy, G.V. Prasad of the Reddy Laboratories, Faiz Khan, and then Masiuddin, Nandini Rao, Veena, and Dr. Y.V. Reddy, who will be here with us. He is already. Yeah, sorry. Dr. Y.V. Reddy. And then, of course, we have a large team consisting both of the core group and the working group. And every year we wonder whether we can really pull this off. A festival of this size and a festival of this diversity. Bhai mentioned how difficult it is to organize a festival. He himself knows. But we always, every year we have this apprehension, can we really do it? And I think for the last 13 years we have been asking the same question. And somehow we have managed to pull it off. And that's entirely because of you, the audience. And this is what we said again and again, that this is not our festival, this is your festival. This is the city's festival, and this is the citizens' festival. And if for the last 13 years we have been able to sustain this festival, it is only because of the support that the city has extended to us. I just want to draw your attention to one important difference that Jayesh Ranjan mentioned. JLF, one important difference that HLF has from other festivals is that HLF is a completely independent festival. It is not linked to any corporate house, and it is not kind of bankrolled by any particular corporate. Every year, and the entire festival depends on people who support the festival year after year. And this year, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all those who have helped us put this festival together. A large, as Jayesh ji mentioned in his remarks, that we were very pleasantly surprised that there is still interest in the corporate world towards, literature, art, and culture. I would like to acknowledge with gratitude our platinum sponsors, Dr. Reddy, our platinum sponsor, Maruti Suzuki, our principal partner, Jayesh Ranjan from Hyderabad, and the gold sponsors, Indian Immunological Limited, Quantum, Hari Om, Pipes and Scaffoldings, GM, Modular Switches, our silver sponsors, Daifuku, and then our supporting partners, Bharti Cement and Kundana. Without their help, a festival of this size and a festival of this variety would not have been possible. We sincerely thank from the entire HLF team, all our sponsors who came forward to help us put this festival together. There is a large support group that we have. If you see the tabloid, you will see that this festival is supported by almost every known group, culture, art, literature group in the city. There are about 24 supporters, from Lama Khan and, Daira, who are putting up wonderful exhibitions here. And then this year, I would like to specifically mention that English PEN, PEN, is the international organization, and English PEN has brought a wonderful set of speakers to the festival. I would like, and Bill Forrester is here, and I would like to acknowledge their support. The British Council, and then the Hyderabad Metro. So there are a large number of supporters with whose support we are able to put this festival together. And once again, our greatest thanks, our most sincere thanks go to you, the audience, because we can put together a festival, but without the audience, there can't be a festival. So thank you for being with us this afternoon, and we hope you will stay with us for the next 3 days. And not only you, and I want to just end by saying that this is not a festival for any particular age group. You will find across the 14 streams that Amita mentioned in the beginning, there will be something that would be of interest to everybody, from tiny toddlers to people who are young at heart. You will find something interesting across the various streams. So please do. We would like to mention specifically, as I said, 3 things are needed for a festival, or maybe 4. You need to have a program, but you need to also have a venue, right? And we are very fortunate that Vidyaranya School, which of course everybody in Hyderabad knows, has a distinct identity, and that Vidyaranya School has been our venue both in 2020 as well as back again in 2022. So Vidyaranya School and their support is just one example of how the city comes together to ensure that HLF happens every year. I mean, we don't have a permanent venue, and every year, we look for a venue, and we are very happy that earlier the Hyderabad Public School and now for the last 2 editions, Vidyaranya School have come forward, and extended this facility to us. We would also like to place on record our thanks, our sincere thanks to the Orient Black Swan. And please remember, you will see this and you will see the schedule. It's all done by OBS, and we sincerely thank the entire team, and they know how much they worked in the last 1 week or so. Revision after revision, taking to the printer at midnight, and it's a humongous task. And in spite of all that, if there are lapses either in the tabloid or in the schedule, it's entirely because of our fault and not theirs. Thank you very much for your understanding, and we hope to see you over the next 2 days. Thank you so much.